What if I told you that the person with $100 in their bank account and the person with $10 million in assets are making the exact same mistake? They're both investing wrong for their stage. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. The strategy that builds your first $1,000 is the strategy that will destroy your first $10 million. And the strategy that protects a $10 million portfolio, it will keep a broke 22-year-old broke forever. So which stage are you actually in right now? And are you playing the right game or the wrong one? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do with your money today, whether you've got $100 or 7 figures. And stage 4 is where almost everyone gets it catastrophically wrong. Let's get into it. Most people think investing is one skill. Learn it once, apply it forever. Wrong. Investing is actually 5 completely different games, played with 5 completely different rulebooks. And wealthy people know something poor people don't. Your net worth decides your strategy. Not your age, not your income, not your risk tolerance. Let's break down all 5 stages. Find yours. And don't skip ahead, because skipping the boring stage is exactly how people lose everything in the exciting one. At this stage, here's a question that stings a little. Does the investment even matter? Honestly, not really. Not yet. At $100 to $1,000, the highest return in your entire financial life isn't in the stock market. It's in your own habits and your own skills. A single online course, a side skill, or simply automating a savings habit will outperform any stock pick you could make with this little capital. The goal here isn't to get rich. The goal is to build the behavior of investing consistently, automatically, without emotion. Open a brokerage account. Set up an automatic transfer, even if it's just $20 a week. Put into a low-cost, broad market index fund and let sit. Why? Because you're not investing for returns yet. You're investing to build the muscle. Skip this stage, and everything after collapses. Now here's where most people jump straight into crypto, options, or some hot stock tip from social media. And that's the second biggest mistake on this list. Before a single extra dollar goes toward exciting investments, this stage has one job: build your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting somewhere boring and liquid, a high-yield savings account, not the stock market. Why does this matter so much? Because without that cushion, one car repair or one medical bill forces you to sell your investments at the worst possible time. The emergency fund isn't a boring formality. It's what keeps you in a market during a crash, instead of panic selling at the bottom. Once that's built, the rest goes into the same simple, diversified index approach from stage 1, just now with more consistency and more automation. This is where investing starts to feel real. And this is where a dangerous question creeps into everyone's head. Should I get more aggressive now? Here's the honest answer: a little, but not in the way most people think. This stage is about maximizing tax advantage growth before anything else. Retirement accounts, employer matches, tax-deferred growth. These aren't boring paperwork. They're free, guaranteed returns that most people leave on the table. Missing an employer match is like refusing a raise. Once those accounts are maximized, this is also the stage where you can responsibly explore a small allocation, 5 to 10%, toward higher conviction ideas. Individual stocks, real estate crowdfunding, or other assets you actually understand deeply. Not because it's exciting, because you've earned the right to take calculated risks without threatening your foundation. Here's the moment I promised you at the start of this video. This is the stage where people who did everything right for years suddenly blow it. Why? Because crossing 6 figures triggers a psychological shift. Suddenly, index funds feel too slow. Suddenly, people start chasing concentrated bets, timing the market, or leveraging debt to accelerate growth. And that single mindset shift is responsible for more destroyed portfolios than any market crash in history. The real move at this stage is diversification across asset classes, not just across stocks. This is typically when real estate enters the picture, either direct property or real estate investment trusts. It's also when a written, structured plan matters more than ever, because emotional decision-making becomes far more expensive with 6 figures than it ever was with 4. Ask yourself honestly, Are you diversifying, or are you gambling and calling a conviction? That question alone will determine whether you reach the next stage or fall backward out of this one. Now here's the twist almost nobody expects. At the highest stage of wealth, the goal quietly flips. It's no longer primarily about growth. It's about not losing what you've built. At this level, the conversation shifts toward tax efficiency, estate planning, and asset protection. Trusts, diversified income streams, and professional guidance from a fiduciary financial advisor and tax professional become essential, not optional. A single bad tax decision or an uninsured risk can undo a decade of disciplined growth in one event. This is also the stage where behavioral risk becomes the single biggest threat again, just like stage one, but for entirely different reasons. Overconfidence, lifestyle inflation, and one concentrated bad bet are what quietly erode fortunes that took 20 years to build. So let's come back to the question I asked at the beginning. Are you playing the right game for your stage or the wrong one? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The habits that feel too slow at $1,000 are the exact habits that protect $10 million. And the excitement that feels thrilling at $100,000 is often the same excitement that destroys a fortune at $1 million. Wealth isn't built by finding one perfect strategy. It's built by knowing exactly which stage you're in and having the discipline to play by that stage's rules, even when it's boring. So tell me honestly in the comments, which stage are you in right now? And if this video just changed how you think about your money, you know exactly what to do next. Hit subscribe because the next video reveals the one mistake that moves people backward a full stage and almost nobody sees it coming.